It is absolutely wonderful to have Dwayne Grice here, all the way from Bullock County, to come and share some time on Welcome to Our Community. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Dawn.
Well, I can't have you on without talking about Grice Connect. You all are so much more than a newspaper.
Well, thank you so much.
And a big presence online. Just tell me, what is your ongoing mission with the newspaper, and what sets you apart, honestly?
Well, Grice Connect really started actually out of the hurricane. We realized that the one thing that we did not lack, we really lacked in the community, was a central source of communication in the time of disaster. So we had all these partner agencies that did everything and filled all the other opportunities that we needed, like shelter, clothing, all these things we've talked about, but that communication element. So we started Bullock VOAD initially as that communication arm, and in the next year in 17, when Irma struck, we went down to Brunswick because we had overstocked our resources. We didn't need them. Brunswick did. Ted Wynn and our Sheriff Noel Brown, they had a request for we went down there. And while we were down there in the mobile kitchen, I remember we had about 300 people in line. Lori calls me and says, people are really tearing you up on social media. I said, what are you talking about? And she says, well, they don't understand that Bullock VOAD is not a county organization. Mm-hmm. Right, and I didn't even think through that. And they thought I was a county employee, so they could see all these county resources, even though it was a time of need.
Exactly.
There was no approval or authority. So I called Mandy Edwards with ME Marketing, who managed my social media at the time, and I said, Mandy, develop me a website. I want it to have my name so folks know I own it, and I want it to have the word connect, because that's really the role of VOAD. So that's how Grice Connect began. At the time, I was a business editor of the local newspaper, the Statesboro Herald. And being inside that organization, it was evident what was happening. And I've been in the media, as you know, in the market for about 4 decades. And I could tell that there was a need. So when the newspaper announced in 19 that they were going to go 3 days a week, I decided to leave the newspaper and to lean into Grice Connect full time and to start a hyper-local online digital first news organization. But I knew we wanted to do it differently, right? So we wrote this traditional model that we were going to do it with clicks and impressions and ads, and just the way every news site, digital news site is run. And we got ready to launch it, and then COVID hit. Well, Lori and I talked about it, and we said, well, we'll just self-finance this for a few months. How long could this last, right? A month or two, right? But that was our understanding early on. And 2 months became 24 months, and it was probably the worst financial decision Lori and I ever made, but the best decision we made for building an organic product that's very unique. Because through that process, by not having to answer to sponsors or to investors, we were able to really kind of lean into what the community needed. One of the things that's probably one of the most popular things on our website, you understand this being from the South, is obituaries. So the newspaper being 3 days a week and now 1 day a week, that was the source of where you got your obituaries from. We also saw the death counts with the COVID reports weren't matching the obituaries. And we realized because of the cost of the obituary, $150, $200, whatever they're charging, I'm not sure, but it wasn't free. So the people were not placing their obituaries. So somebody could live a full life in our community, do everything extraordinarily well, and then not get the respect of a send-off of a simple obituary. So we decided we're going to change that. So we started producing all the obituaries for free. Now there's 5 funeral homes in our community. Every day on Grice Connect, 3 or 4 times a day we update it. You can go and see all the obituaries. So everybody in our community that passes away has an obituary on our site. Dr. Kyle Marrero, Georgia Southern, he came from Carrollton. Carrollton had a very robust community events calendar. He saw what that did for that community, realized we didn't have one. It came out of a chamber committee. We decided we wanted to do that. And so we leaned into that and launched a community events calendar. And you know how labor intensive that can be. So we did that. So 2 of the most simplest things we do that aren't rocket science generates 1/3 of the traffic to my website every day. So then we started looking at how can we continue this and do this differently. I want to have a clean user experience. I don't want to have a paywall. How do we make this work in a way that really works and produces a product that shows the best of our community? When my editorial team, we met this morning, we say, we start the meeting out with tell us what's great with our community. Because the secret of our community is what you're doing here, right? It's the people who make the community special. So we lean into a solutions-based journalism model. It's a share voice model, no clicks, no impressions. We just have people that lean in and support us. And thank goodness a lot of the business community realize the value that we bring, the social capital value we bring. When you remove local news from a community, you've lost that social capital, that connectivity of the community. As you know,